Hello students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to discuss about LR0 parser. Here we are going to introduce about the LR0 parser, which is a bottom-up parser. And objective of this session is you are going to understand what is the concept of LR0 parser and how it is going to be parse a string. Next, after completion of this particular session, you are going to understand what is the LR0 parser and how it process or parse a particular given string or token. Here, the types of bottom-up parsers is basically it is of two types. First one is the operator precedence parser and LR parsers. Among LR parsers, there are four more types known as LR0 parser, SLR1 or the simple LR, CLR, this is the canonical LR, and this is the LALR, look ahead LR. Okay. Here in this session, we are going about discuss about the LR0 parser. And come to the components of the LR0 parser, the input buffer loads all the input. That means we are place our input in this input buffer. And by using the stack data structure, using the parse table, the LR0 parsing algorithm is going to execute and generates the output as the parse tree. The terminology of the LR0 parser. The first one is the LR0 items. As we discussed in the last session, for construction of the LR0 and SLR1 parser, we need LR0 canonical item set, and these are the two functions we are going to use while constructing the canonical item set. And the parse table, which consists of the action and goto parts, which are used to perform the parsing process. And finally, the parsing process. Remind, all the parsing process is same for all LR parsers. For the given grammar, first we have to find the augmented grammar, and then we have to find the LR0 canonical item set, and then we have to apply the closure and goto operation to construct the LR0 canonical item set. And finally, we are performing the parsing with the help of the parse table. Augmented grammar. For the given grammar, if we are adding one more production which is known as augmented production, and this grammar plus the augmented production is known as augmented grammar. And the augmented production is like S dash tends to S, where S is the start symbol of the grammar. And we are adding this augmented production to the grammar because it indicates the parser where to stop the parsing process. Closure operation. In the previous session, we discussed about the closure operation. So, if a grammar is given, we have to attach one more dot on the right hand side of it, which is now called as an item, and we are moving this dot from left to right, one symbol at a time. In the given example, S tends to XZ, if this is the given grammar to me, I have to attach one dot here. Now it is called as an item, and after this dot, a non-terminal is there, which is the variable. So, I have to attach all the non-terminal productions as S tends to dot XZ. Because of this capital X, I have to write all the X productions where X tends to dot AB and X tends to dot B. Come to the goto operation. As indicating goto IFX, where I is the state number and X is the symbol on which I am going to perform the goto operation. The symbol may be a non-terminal or terminal. And if this is an item given to me, I have to perform the goto operation as S tends to X dot A. Here you can see I am moving this dot one symbol at a time from left to right. And while applying the go to operation, we have to think for the closure operation. But here after this dot, a terminal symbol is there. So no need to apply the closure operation here. For this is the given grammar to me. For this given grammar, I have to construct the LR0 canonical item set. So how to construct? For this given grammar, attach the augmented production as S dash tends to dot S. S dash tends to dot S. So now we have to think for the closure operation, because after this dot some capital S is there, which is a non-terminal. So we have to perform the closure operation. So now write all the S productions as S tends to dot A. Again after this dot, capital A is there, which is a non-terminal. So we have to write all the capital A productions as capital A tends to dot small a, capital A, and capital A tends to dot B. So which is the first state what we constructed. Here you can see this is our first state. After that we have to apply the go to operation. So what is go to operation? So take the first production, it is S dash tends to dot S. So I have to perform the go to operation on capital S. So I have to move this dot symbol from left to right, but one symbol at a time. So S dash tends to S dot. So this is my state number 1. You can see the dot is reached the extreme right on this right hand side of the production. So we cannot move the dot symbol to furthermore. Come to the second one. The second production is S tends to dot AA. So I have to apply the operation go to operation as on capital A. I am writing as S tends to A dot A. S tends to A dot A. So here you can observe after this dot capital A is there. So definitely I have to include all the capital A production as A tends to dot A, capital A, and A tends to dot B. So this is my new state, which can be named as I2. Here I cannot apply the any closure operation, because after dot a terminal is there. If there is a terminal after the dot, so we cannot perform the closure operation. I am going to perform the operation on, for the third one, on small a. What I have to write? Capital A tends to on small a, I have to write A dot capital A. You can observe after this dot capital A is there. So again I have to apply the closure operation. So what I have to write? A tends to A dot A. So apply the closure operation. A tends to dot A, because after the dot capital A is there. So I have to write all the capital A productions. A tends to dot B. So which is the state number 3. Okay. So on A I am going to write the next production. Come to the last production as on small b, I have to write A tends to B dot. So this is I4. You can observe the dot is reached the extreme right position. So we can say it is a final item. We can say it can be a final item. It is a final item. Okay. Then now again come to this position. We are going to process to the next step. Now come to here. Here you can see the dot symbol is reached to the right, extreme right. So we cannot process into the further step. But this is not a final item, because this is the augmented grammar or augmented production which is added by me. So this is not a final item. Next, come to the state I2. Here on capital A, what I can write? S tends to AA dot. S tends to AA dot. And the dot is reached to the extreme right, so I cannot perform or no need to perform the closure operation. So this is one more state. Okay. Then come to the next one. Come to the next production, I have to write on capital A. If I processing on A, I have to write A tends to A dot capital A. A tends to A dot capital A. But because of this capital A, I have to write all the A productions as A tends to dot small a capital A and A tends to dot B. So take this as a new state named as I6. But you can observe this is the state which consists A tends to A dot A like this, and A tends to next A tends to dot AA and A tends to dot AA, and finally A tends to dot B, A tends to dot B. That means the same productions is like state number I3. So instead of writing as a new state, you can write as on small a, it is moving for I3. Okay. Next, and come to the last production. Come to the last production on small b, you can write A tends to B dot. You can write, you have to on the last production, you have to write on B A tends to B dot. Again, you can see that A tends to B dot is present in I4. Instead of writing the new name to this particular state, you can write I4. Okay. Then come to this state I3. Now I want to process all the production of this particular I3. So on A, I have to write A tends to on capital A, because after that capital A is there. So on capital A tends to small a capital A dot. If the dot is reached to the extreme right, so we have to stop our processing there, and this is one new more state. Let us say it is I5. Okay. Now come to the second production. On small a, I have to write A tends to A dot capital A, and after this dot capital A is there, so we have to apply the closure operation. So I have to write A tends to dot AA and A tends to dot B. Again, you can observe all these three productions are existed in this particular state. So no need to keep these as a new state. Instead of this, you can keep a self loop on A. And finally, A tends to dot B. If I process A tends to dot B on small b, I have to write A tends to B dot, which is already existed in the I4. So instead of writing as a new state, you can keep as B. Okay. So which is described like this. These are the LR0 canonical item set which are used to construct the, or which are using in LR0 and SLR1 parsing. Then we are going to construct the parse table for this particular LR0 parser. Now come to this construction of the parse table, we have to use, or we use these LR0 canonical items. The parse table consists of two parts named as action part and go to part. The action part consists all the terminals in the given grammar, and the go to part consists all the non terminals in the given grammar. As we know, G equal to VTPS, where V means variables or non terminals, T means terminals. All the capital letters are comes under the variables, and except capital letters, everything is treated as a terminals. So in this given grammar, the terminals are small a, small b, and the capital letters are S and A. In the action part, small a, small b, and in the go to part, capital S and capital A. And in the action part, along with these terminals, we have to keep the dollar symbol. Okay. Next, all the state names are written in the first column. Now we are going to construct the LR0 parse table. Now come to the I naught state. There are 4 go-to operations named as on capital S, capital A, small a and small b. So on capital S, it is moving to I1 state. So from I naught on capital S, it is moving to I1 state. So from I naught on capital S, you have to write cap 1, which indicates that from I naught on capital S, we are moving to the state number 1. Then from I naught on capital A, we are moving to I2 state. So on I naught from capital A, I have to write 2. Clear? Then come to the next one. From I naught on small a, I move to some particular state number I3, but this is depend upon a terminal. So this indicates a shift operation. So what I have to write? From I naught on A, I have to write shift operation yes, and I move to the state 3. So I have to write 3. Is it clear? Next, from this I naught state, on small b, it's a terminal. So I move to the I4 state. Okay. So again, the operation is performed depend upon a terminal. So which indicates the shift operation. So from I naught on small b, I move to I4 state. So I have to write the S4 here. Okay. Now I naught is over. Now come to I1 state. So you may observe this seems to be a final item, and in the LR0 parser, if there is a final item, so we have to perform the reduction operations, but this is not a actual final item because this is the augmented production which is added by me to the grammar. So we cannot perform the reduction operation in the state number 1. So what I have to write? From I1 on dollar, I have to write accept, because as we discuss, this augmented production or augmented grammar indicates the parser where to stop the parsing process. Okay. So I1 is over. Then come to the I2. From I2, there are seems to be 3 operations, go-to operations are there. Okay. Now come to the first one, which is a capital A. So I have to go for the go-to part. And on I2 on capital A, it is I5. So I have to write the state number there. So I2 on capital A, I went to 5th state. Okay. Next, on I2 on small a, it is went to I3. I2 on small a, it went to I3. So already we said, if there is a go-to operation depend upon a terminal, so we have to write the shift operations. So I2 on small a, I have to write S3 because it is a terminal, so shift operation, it went to the I3 state, so I have to write S3. Then I2 on small b is I4. I2 on small b is I4. So again the operation is depend upon this particular terminal symbol. So again I have to perform the shift operation. So what I have to write? Yes, that means shift operation, and to went to which state? I4. So S4. Okay. Next come to I3 state. Come to I3 state. Again, how many transactions are, how many go-to operations are there? So there are 3 go-to operations. Here there are 3 go-to operations. First one is A, second one is capital A, and third one is small b. Okay. On I3, on small a, there is a shift operation. So I have to write S3. And on small b, I am moving to the I4 state because if this is a go-to operation depend upon the terminal. So I have to write as a shift operation. So I have to write as S4. Then from I3 on capital A, I move to I6. So you can see this is the capital A, that means it is depend upon the variable or non-terminal. So I have to write in the go-to part as I6. So I3 on capital A is 6. Okay. Now come to this I4, which is the very crucial part. take this I4 which consists a final item, as we discussed. If there is a final item, so we have to perform the reduction operations. So how to perform the reduction operation? So here the given grammar is S tends to AA and capital A tends to small a capital A and A tends to small b. So we can give, this is the production number 1, this is the production number 2 and this is the production number 3. So you can observe in this I4 state which production is there, A tends to B is there. So now go for the given grammar and find where A tends to B is there. So you can find here A tends to B is there. So what is A tends to B? So this is the third production. Okay. So I have to write R3, R3, R3. Why? Because if this is the LR0 parsing, if there is a final item is there, so we have to write the reduction operations in the entire row, of the action part. Okay. So here in I4, A tends to B is there, which is a final item. So I went to the productions, grammar productions, which A tends to be the third production. So in the entire row, in the action part, I have to write R3, R3 and R3, which indicates R3 means reduction operation 3. Okay. That means I have to perform the reduction operation depend upon the production of the grammar number 3. So you can ask, here in the I0 there are totally 4 productions are there, but we consider only 3. So why? Because the first production is added by me only or added by us only, because this is the augmented production. So no need to give the number to the augmented production, simply give the number to the given grammar only. So in the given grammar only 3 productions are there, so we can perform only 3 types of reduction operations. Okay. Now come to the I5 state. So we can find a production as S tends to AA dot here. Now go to the grammar and find this is the production number 1. So I have to place the reduction operation number 1 in the entire row of the action part. So what you have to write? R1, R1 and R1. Okay. Now come to the final one, I6, which consists one more final item. So again I have to apply the reduction operation only and go to the grammar. The grammar is A tends to AA dot or A tends to AA, which is the production number 2. So we have to place the reduction operation number 2 in the entire row of this I6 in the action part. So this is the parse table for the given grammar. Now come to the parsing process. We didn't get the name as LR0 parsing process because for all the LR parsers the parsing process is same. Okay. So in the parsing process we are using the stack data structure for the parsing. If we are using the stack operation, so we have to perform 2 operations named as push and pop. Here we named as shift and reduce. We named as shift and reduce. Next, load the given input string into the input buffer. As shown in the diagram in the previous slides, we have to load the input to the input buffer, and initially we have to push the initial state number into the stack. What is this initial state number? We constructed a set of canonical items. Okay. So from the canonical item set, we have to push the starting state number to the stack. Then for the shift operation only, we have to increment the look ahead pointer. So what is the look ahead pointer? If any string is given like id plus id, we are representing the current processing symbol by using a pointer known as look ahead pointer. okay, and always reduce not the correct current symbol but the previous symbol. This is the one most important rule in LR parsing process. Next, perform the reduce operation depend upon the final item. As we discussed, if there is a final item is there, definitely we have to perform the reduction operation, okay.